Hey everybody, welcome back to the YouTube channel. For anyone new here, my name is Jay and I'm going to be talking about deer myths or misconceptions. Stick around for the end of the video because I'm going to give 3, but then I'm going to give a bonus 4th one at the very end. So let's dive on in. Deer myth or misconception number 1, the October lull. Sure, everyone here has heard of it, but if you haven't, the October lull is the perceived notion that deer just don't move during October, especially it's more geared towards bucks, and they only move at night. People just don't see them on their trail cameras, and they just assume that they're laying up all day and only moving at night because that's when they see them on their trail cameras. That couldn't be further from the truth. I used to be a believer in the October lull because that would happen to me until I finally figured out why it was happening. The October lull is more just a reaction of deer to hunting pressure. That buck is living somewhere and he's moving during daylight somewhere. It just may not be on your property or on this section of public land where you're hunting because of hunting pressure. Either you or someone else pushed that buck out of there and now he's somewhere else safer to where he doesn't have to deal with any kind of human interaction or any kind of pressure to his daily life. So you don't get him on daylight trail camera anymore, and you only see him at night because that's when he feels safe enough to move through that area. So the biggest way to debunk the October lull is to limit your hunting pressure or just get away from people if you're on public land. But on private land, you gotta manage your hunt, you gotta manage your sits, or you'll end up experiencing what people say is the October lull. October lull could occur in September if your season opens up in middle of September, which a lot of states do. So that perceived notion that bucks only move during the night or just you never see them on daylight, they're daylight somewhere, you just got to find them. Deer myth or misconception number 2. The rut begins early or it begins late every year. You know, it's never consistent. That couldn't be more wrong. You may not see rutting activity to a certain point in the year, but the rut occurs at the exact same time almost to the day sometimes every year. Now, I will say, people will say, especially people down south where they have more of a trickle rut to where, you know, they see some rutting activity in mid-November and then nothing for a little bit, and then they see it like 2 weeks later, and then into December, January, February. That's very true because the South has something a lot different than what most of the whitetail country has. It's more of a trickle rut. But the further north you go and up into Canada and such, the rut is very central and focused because those deer have to be born a certain time of the year or they're not going to be able to make it through winter the further north you go. So I'll talk more specifically about the rut and all the different phases in another video, but the rut occurs at the exact same time every single year. There's been many studies done that show does come into heat a very specific time of year. It's not early, it's not late. I'll see people out there saying it's November 15th and they're just starting to see rut activity. Well, the rut's been going on, especially if you're in the north. We'll just say Pennsylvania because that's where I am. You're in Pennsylvania and you're not seeing rutting activity. All of a sudden you're starting to see it on November 15th. You've missed quite a bit of the rut. You've missed almost 3 weeks of it. The rut does not vary in when it happens. It's very specific. Deer myth or misconception number 3. You need big acreage on private land to have a better chance at killing a buck. Now, what's big acreage to people? You know, some people have different thought process than other people, but to me, big acreage is when you start getting into well over 100, 200 acres, something like that. But there's a decent amount of people that I've seen that think you cannot, if you have 15 acres, for instance, that you can't consistently kill bucks on that acreage. You absolutely can. I've been hunting the small property that I manage. When I say small property, it's like 14, 15 acres. 15 acres, I consistently every year have decent bucks. This isn't Iowa, or Kansas or Kentucky. This is Pennsylvania. So I consistently have decent bucks on camera every single year and usually get some sort of opportunity at them. Now, I don't always close on those opportunities because my archery skills, especially 2 years ago, definitely weren't the best compared to what they are now. But the opportunities are there. So anyone that tells you you need 500 or 1,000 acres to consistently kill whitetail or deer every year, that's just not right. It's been proven time and time again. Small acreage, you can kill bucks consistently every year. Now we come to the bonus one. This is going to sound like a weird one and maybe funny to some of you, but I know some people believe this. Urinating human urine freaks out bucks, especially big bucks. I just don't agree with that. I don't know of any particular studies that have been done on this. I'm sure there's one out there. Mississippi State University and Michigan State, they do really good work when it comes to studies on anything deer that you would ever want to know. So if you want to go down a rabbit hole, check out their websites and just Google and you'll find something. But human urine, every time I set up a mock scrape, just about every single time, I urinate and pee in it. I think that freshens up the ground a little bit, but I have never seen a buck or ever gotten data of a buck not coming through just because I peed on the ground. So I'd be curious, guys, let me know down below what you think of these myths or misconceptions, and if you have any good ones out there that I may have missed. There's a ton out there, but let me know down in the comments which ones you think are either the funniest or the ones that are the most BS, or if you think that I'm wrong on any of these, please let me know, but keep it civil as always. That's gonna do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button and hit that subscribe button also. It really helps me out, guys. And with the season in full swing, remember to shoot straight, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.